Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here in the lovely world of raccoons with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo. I really want to zoom in, but Optifine is not available for Minecraft 1.9 quite yet. But anywho, a couple episodes ago, we talked about ancient Mayan pyramids and what the purposes they served. One purpose being pretty much it was a place where an ancient Mayan city would come together for religious ceremonies. And another purpose was basically much like the ancient Egyptian pyramids, they could be ancient Mayan pyramids, could serve the purpose as basically marking the burial site for a king that had died or someone within the royal family. Um, so, pretty much off camera, what I've been working on is a small little structure that is going to be housing where the shamans and the priest would come together and talk, hang out, chill, you know? For those of you who do not know what a shaman is an individual who has some form of a spiritual connection with a deity. Uh, to go further into detail, a shaman would claim to have the ability to communicate with the gods or whatever it is that the culture would worship, and they would do so via dreams. They would do so by going into this state of mind that only those who were worthy to be able to enter would do so and communicate with the gods and hear their message. And then when the dream was over or the state of mind had come to an end, they would then spread the word to their culture, to their city, their village, the group of people with whom they live amongst. And then what the priest in the Mayan culture would do is they would basically serve the purpose of hosting the ceremony. So, for example, a priest would walk up these steps. Ooh. Hello there, hostile mobs. Oh no, they saw us. It's too late. So, let's go ahead and actually turn these all the way down so we don't hear them. That'd be good. Okay, so basically, a priest in the Mayan culture would stand atop of these steps here at this pyramid, temple, whichever you want to call it. And this is where they would commit the sacrifices. And in the Mayan culture, sacrifices consisted of various things. However, the most common sacrificee, if that is the correct term to use, the most common typical thing that oh no, we're on fire. This is very unfortunate. Okay, let's just go ahead and get down from here. Obviously, these ruins are hazardous. Ooh. So, priests would stand at the top of the steps and they would commit the sacrifices. And basically, what the Mayans would sacrifice would pretty much be a living creature because blood in the Mayan culture was considered one of the most nourishing things you could sacrifice to the gods or deities. I'm still learning about my culture as I continue to. Ooh, that was loud in my ears. I'm still learning about my culture as I continue to do the research here, so bear with me as I gather the knowledge and terms, the correct terms to use. Anywho, because blood was considered the most nourishing thing you could give to the gods, the deities, in return, the Mayans would be granted a good year of harvest, good luck, good fortune, stuff like that. And so, aside from having our little residential area over here, I wanted to have a place where shamans and priests could come together and discuss. Like, the shamans would talk about their latest talks with the gods, deities, and such. And then the priest would come together and take the shaman's word and begin to conjure a ceremony for the latest buzz. And this structure right here is pretty much where, when it comes to non living creatures, the things that would be sacrificed could be brought into here and then placed into storage. Or, say, for example, if you were going to be taking living creatures and sacrifice them, then after the ceremony was over, you could go ahead and bring the lifeless body down into here and then cremate the body. So that way you wouldn't just be taking it and burying it and letting it rot away. Instead, if you believed in that sort of thing, the cremated body would turn into ashes, and then you could spread it into the world and help spread life into the world. But also, then what we have, oops, I didn't mean to jump down here. What we also have is then this little pathway. And this is going to lead into the chambers, where if there was not going to be a ceremony where sacrificing living creatures was going to happen, but instead you were going to do a private ceremony and do the sacrificing, you could just do so down here. Now, we do have a pathway that leads from this sacrificial chamber into, we got to be cautious though, because as we saw earlier, there were some hostile mobs. Okay, I don't see anything, although then again, I didn't get a good jump. So this pathway leads into this Mayan temple here. Now, as I stated a couple episodes back, I was thinking of letting this pyramid serve the purpose as a burial site. But however, I'm starting to reevaluate what purposes this temple could serve. And because we're going to have this structure over here that is going to be the housing of shamans and priests in this Mayan city, I kind of would like to have this temple be dedicated to ceremonies. Because if we were going to have large ceremonies, open ceremonies for the public to view, where at the top of the steps you would go ahead and sacrifice your living creature. Hold on a second. Then you could do so by bringing the body into the temple once the life had passed through it. And from there, what we would have are separate individual rooms within this pyramid, and we would also have different levels, meaning different floors inside the pyramid. So that way, one part of the floor could be dedicated to cleaning up the body. Another floor could be dedicated to cremating the body. Another level could then be where you would dump the ashes at, and so forth. But because we're also keeping in mind that this is going to be a ruins, I would like to have some redstone traps enabled, so that way when the modern day scientists would come about exploring this temple, they may not be so fortunate in their exploration and may succumb to some various traps. But anywho, because I pretty much spent the majority of this night working on this build and doing some research on Mayan priests, shamans, and sacrifices, which I hopefully did a decent job repeating to you guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish off this build by doing some detailing and decorational bits, and then I'll see you guys when we are done. Take it all in, peeps. Just take it all in. Not much has really changed, except I replaced various cobblestone blocks along with stone brick blocks with their mossy counterpart, and then just took some moss and placed it on top of the mossy stone brick blocks, so that way it could look more aesthetic, if that makes any sense. I also did the same thing over here. What I was going with was on each face of the build, we would go ahead and have two mossy patches placed. So one was right up top there, another one was right here. For this face, we had one here, one right next to it. Although actually, now that I look at it, that's not a mossy stone brick. Oh well, we'll just say it's spreading around. Same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 and 2. Wait a minute. Oh, I did place them on just mossy stone bricks. They're spreading. Aside from growing, aside from growing vertically, they also apparently grow adjacent to one another. Interesting. I did not know they did that. Vins, you have a way of amazing me. Anywho, what I also did was I then went down here and placed various mossy cobblestone blocks. Now, because like I said, this is going to be a small private sacrificial ceremony room, I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and do some minor detailing right here by placing various chipped pieces of the wall. Well, at least that's what these stairs are going to be serving as, because, well, even though it was considered an honor and a privilege to be sacrificed to the gods, you know, there's still a part of you that's going to go, wait a minute, I kind of value my life, and I don't think I want to do this anymore or allow this to happen. Ooh, this is really gonna bug me that we're gonna have all these. Well, you know what we could do? Let's go ahead and try something. No, we can't do that either because I don't want to have the stone blocks exposed. I want this all to look natural, like it flows with one another. And I guess we could place. Wait a minute. Yeah, we could go ahead and place one right here. Oh, this dual wielding feature from Minecraft 1.9. I love it. I love it ever so much. But anywho, you guys, I think that's really all I want to do, because I was thinking of each of these four corners is going to be where you would go ahead and do the actual sacrificing. And with that being said, you know, the people who are going to be sacrificed, if they have any last minute thoughts about valuing their life and wanting to run from their village, because, you know, once you resist the sacrifice, well, once you resist being sacrificed, you're at that point considered, I don't want to say a traitor, but let's just say you're not going to be able to go home alive. But this is going to be where people, if they would choose to resist at the last minute, you know, obviously you're going to have some bumping into the walls going on. And yeah. So let's go ahead, now that it's nighttime actually, go ahead and take a step back and just overall get a feel for how this looks. Considering that, once again, this is going to be where the shamans and the priests come to discuss their visions for their village, their harvest, their next year of harvest, and also discuss upcoming ceremonies. I think this looks rather nice. Oh, hey! Anywho, you guys, ooh, the reason why I have a water source right here is because this sword, as you guys can tell, has fire on it, so I don't want to burn to a crisp. But anywho, that's going to do it for this episode, you guys. If you like what you see, then please give that like button a hug and subscribe for the latest buzz. And if you had a blast with a good laugh, then make sure you favorite this video and share it with a friend or two. But until next time, peeps, this is Vanillaraccoon. Peace out. Now, before you go ahead and watch some other video of mine, because I know that's what you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and watch other videos from me. You ain't going to watch anybody else's videos. I know your secret. Oh, hello there. I just want to briefly take a moment to just tell you guys. Oh, did you hear that noise? And I'm on fire. I just wanted to briefly take a moment to tell you guys that the next few episodes from this Let's Play series may not be they're going to be spaced out, because I'm really doing my best to wrap my brain around the idea that this is going to be an ancient Mayan city, something that is real, a part of real life. And I want to make sure I get everything done right. And I want to do a great job at it. I want to be able to take what I've read about my culture and then apply it to Minecraft. And of course, we may come up with our own little Mayan universe, if that makes any sense. Our own lore. There we go. We may come up with our own lore for the Mayan culture. But nonetheless, you guys, I really am, for this small project, going to be putting my heart, my soul, my mind, my time, my energy into these videos. And so the reason why I say this is because the Prodigal Turtle had mentioned in a live stream that there seems to be 90 days in between each world download. And that may not be the case for this next world download between the second and third. I'm not saying it's going to take more than 90 days, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I am doing a ton of research on the Mayan culture just so I can bring it to you guys here in these videos. Not just show you cool builds, but also recite the knowledge that I have learned myself onto you guys. So, enjoy the next video by me, and I'll see you there. Peace.